Best of r/entitled parents episode 174. Subscribe for edit videos daily. This was a few years and the start of me and my EM not speaking. I had just finished uni, having lived on my own for a few years and wanted to upgrade my car. Though I worked full time, it was on a casual basis, so the banks wanted a guarantor. I asked my mum and she said, "Sure, I would love to help." A little voice said this was a bad idea, but I went ahead and got a great car I still use 8 years later. A few years into the loan, my mum built a new house, bought new furniture for the house and some very expensive floorings, curtains and even landscaping. Only problem, she couldn't pay for it. She had maxed out her money with just the house, so all the other stuff, over $50,000, went onto credit cards. That's when she turned to me. She wanted to borrow more money, but the bank said with my car loan, which I had $3,000 left, she couldn't get any more money. She demanded I get her name off the loan. I looked into it and it was going to cost me 3 times the amount I had left on the loan and would mean I had it for another 5 years. I told her this and that, as I'm paying a lot off every week, I should have it finished within the year. Then the threats started. As I was telling her I would still get her name off if she was that desperate, she decided she was going to steal the car off me, sell it and use the money to pay off her debt. All this because you were expensive to raise. You need to start paying me back. She also told me that she paid for my high school, so anything I earn in the future I need to give her a percentage of. I reminded her that if she stole the car, I would just call the cops as it was in my name and I could show I've been paying off. She threatened to get lawyers involved and sent me some legal documents, but when I didn't bite back or give in, she told me it was all because she missed me and wanted to spend more time with me but didn't know how to get my attention. Ironically, during this time my stepsis was visiting from overseas and my EM had bought a new cot, car seat, high chair and other baby stuff for my stepsis's young son. To this day I still have no idea how she paid for all of the extra things to finish her house. Her garden is still the most impressive on the street, so at least it was quality work. Thank you. Next. I wanted to talk about this for a while now, but I was being a lazy shit. Anyways, flashback 8 years ago. I was 6 years old playing for my local football team. Our next fixture was a rivalry against some team which had no chill whatsoever. In the league they had a reputation for committing a foul every game. I was sorta scared, but, what could go wrong? A lot of things. I was being fouled left, right and center, always me. However, we were winning 1-0 at this point. A few minutes goes by and I'm still a victim and we were level at 2-2 now. The goalkeeper kicks the ball over to me. It was a little high, so I had to head the ball to my teammate Jaden. I leap in the air to realize an opponent was trying to get there first. I about to head the ball when he did it. He stuck out his leg with force and kicked me right in the chest with the underside of his shoes, which had studs. I am not lying when I said it hurt more than tearing my groin a year earlier and dislocating my elbow the same year. The entire crowd of parents went, oof. And the boy just stares down at me smiling. I wanted to fight back, but I was in so much pain, so I just cursed at him. At the time I didn't know real curses, so I called him a meanie, a stupid idiot and poopy face. The kid isn't given a red card, but instead he got subbed off. Normally, once you get subbed in professional football you can't go back on field, but it applied for us. Since the kid's violence wasn't tolerated on the pitch, he was given a permanent substitution, basically a red card for little kids. The game finishes all square at 3-3 with Jaden scoring a last-minute equalizer. A pretty satisfactory game. For my teammates at least. However, EM wasn't having it at all. So she tries to talk with the referee. EM. This was obviously a plan by the opposing boys. They worked together. The dive correlated to that last-minute equalizer. It's too obvious. Ref, explain. EM. Are you blind? Ref, are you stupid? You made a point and you can't even back it up. EM scoffs and walks away. To me. EM. Come on. I know you dived. You cheater. Spill the beans. Me. Utterly confused. Wah. EM. Don't play victim here. You rigged it. Tell the ref and we will basically win. Me. Still confused. What does rigged mean? I was 6 years old. EM. You cheated. Me. I didn't cheat. He did. Points at kid who kicked me. EM. gasps in disbelief. He is my son. Watch your mouth. Me. Sorry. Tell me the truth. Me. Okay. So, I tried to get the ball. He didn't want that. Then he kicked me. Ugh. You are useless. Storms off and takes her child. I just stood there dumbfounded with finger at my mouth. I just shrugged and drank the rest of my water. Looking back, I realized that sometimes you could have a positive view of someone and think they wouldn't harm anyone or do anything bad. If they do something bad to you or others, you could overlook those aspects and still view them as a good person despite showing serious red flags. You know they did something bad, but you don't want your trust with them to fall apart. Let me know if this advice helps in any way. With that said, stay safe, gamers. Thank you. Next. I am from Kerala, in India. I did my engineering degree course at a famous engineering college, in Durgapur, West Bengal state, in India. My friends from Kerala and I used to visit this famous South Indian restaurant in the city once or twice a month for South Indian food. One Friday night, when we went there was already a family of 4 already waiting at a table for their food. Middle-aged dad, mom, son and daughter. We went and took a table that a little far from their table. The waiter took our orders and left. Suddenly we heard our native language / tongue, Malayalam, being spoken and we turned our heads. The family of 4 were Malayalis, as we refer to those who speak Malayalam, the native language of Kerala. We were dressed in normal clothes, tees, worn and torn jeans, shabby slippers, and many of us were unshaven. The mother goes, "Look at those creeps, ogling at us. Shame. They might be some seasonal manual laborers. Look at their clothes. I bet they haven't had a bath for ages. And they would surely stink." The father says to his son, "Look at them. If you don't study properly and good marks, that is what you are going to be like. So, study hard." The son, the only non-entitled of the bunch, stays silent. The daughter says, "They were looking at us for a long time. Could it be that they are thieves? Would they be doing something to us after we leave?" By this time the orders had arrived. Both the parties, us and them, started having our food. We finished early, washed and dried our hands, paid the bill to the waiter and moved towards the table where the family sat. We stopped by their table. All 4 of them looked up, the mom and the daughter, with fear, the dad, with slight hostility, and the son, with interest. I greeted them in our native tongue and saw their jaws drop. Then in a very gruff voice, my friend asks, "How much money are you carrying?" and burst out laughing. I said, "We are students at the engineering college, not seasonal manual laborers, whom you look down upon. If we had to do manual work, we would do it. We find no shame in it. We clean our rooms and toilets ourselves, and I guess you do it too. There is something called the dignity of labor. Respect every work and its worker." My friend goes, "Just because we wore shabby clothes, you consider us as lowly. You know what? We were pleasantly happy to hear our mother language in this city. But, we are not, now. Irrespective of the languages, critters with rotten brains like yours will be the same everywhere." I ended up with absolutely not wishing you a happy night. Go rot. As we turn towards the exit, we see the son, trying not to laugh, and the rest 3 going red in their faces and looking down. Thank you. Next. I have a close circle of female friends who all had their first kids around the same time as me. We all live in the same town and see each other regularly. This friend is one that I'm the least close to for a variety of reasons. Firstly, because even though she has no issue with it, she insists she has a gluten intolerance. She even told us all that she went to the doctor and the doctor told her she didn't have an intolerance, but that she still thinks she does. Because the medical professional has no idea, right? Now you may be going, "Come on, that's really nothing," and it isn't, but it's just annoying. I'm always the one to cater for our events, because I love doing it, and having to make her fake allergy food annoys me. I always pettily spike things with soy sauce and then message her the next day to check how she feels. She's always fine. I'm an awful, shallow person, but that act gives me great pleasure and I shan't stop. Anyway, this friend and I had organized to meet at my house for a play date with our kids. The plan was to have the kids play and we can drink tea and chat. Or so I thought. She arrived with child and then asked if I could watch him while she pops to the shop to get a birthday card for her dad. The shop is just down the road, so of course I said yes. She turns, gets in her car and drives off. I'm watching this wondering if she understands the impact on the environment driving 20 meters down the road hasn't see her turn away from the shop. Okay, I think she's likely forgotten her purse or something. I close the door and attend to the children. Now, we all know our own progeny is far superior to that of anyone else. Our little man loves Lego, and although he's a bit too young to put the complicated ones together, he likes to find the pieces we need and have us do it for him. He therefore has a large collection of cars / Batmobiles / tractors / planes that we've completed that he carefully plays with and puts on the shelf. We've got a whole box of random pieces for him to create and smash with. Long story short, this demon spawn has no respect for Lego and breaks all of these toys up, then comes to me and demands a snack. His mum has been gone for about 20 meters now and she's not said anything about snacks, but it is nearly lunchtime. I fob him off with an apple and get the train tracks out. Time passes. Lots of time passes. I feel like I have aged a century trying to stop spawn of Satan from destroying our house. And he does not stop talking. I get it. You're a curious kid, but dude, give me 5 minutes where you aren't spewing words in my face. My son, meanwhile, is desperately trying to get him to talk to him and play with him, and I'm constantly trying to redirect his attention to playing. I've got my patient mum voice on. You know the one, high and sugary with just a tinge of "if you keep going I need to lock myself in the pantry for 10 minutes. I look at my watch. She's been gone 2 hours. It's lunchtime. So I feed the rabble. I swear, there may only have been 2 little boys, but at lunchtime there's at least 14 of them, judging by the amount they eat. 3 hours. 4 hours. I get worried. What if she's been in an accident? I text her asking if everything is okay. Oh yeah, sorry hun, she messages me. I ran into my husband and we've been to the supermarket and then we went to the bookshop and now we're at home. I was genuinely gobsmacked. Who does this? I know we have been friends for years and we both trust each other's ability to parent, but who drops their kid on a friend and then fucks off for the day without even telling them? I ask when she's coming back and she said she'll finish putting her shopping down and then pop in for that cuppa. Meanwhile, I'm fucking seething. Her kid is doing my nut in. I start throwing sweets at him to give myself some peace. Don't judge me. She didn't tell me I couldn't, so it's her own fault. My own kid has given up on this hellbeast and is playing in his bedroom. An hour later she arrives. Sugar has well and truly kicked in and demon spawn sees her and bursts into spectacular tears. She sweeps him into her arms and I put on my blandest face, shrug and say he must be hungry. He's been asking for snacks for the last 3 hours. She asks if I mind if she takes him home. Do I mind? I insist she takes him and make a passive-aggressive comment about how caring for our kids is the most important thing we do. She leaves. I run upstairs to the boy and we have a well-needed cuddle. A glass of warm milk for him and a gin for me whilst we survey the chaos. She messaged me later and said he'd been so excited about having been to our house that he didn't sleep until 9 PM and had been very emotional. I conveniently didn't tell her about the amount of sugar I pumped into her lovely little Lucifer. Her turn to deal with him. Thank you. Next. Backstory. A buddy of mine's family runs a small convenience store / bait and tackle shop in the US, and I help out every now and then since I work at a gas station. Like 98% of stores, the shop is currently operating on a 1 toilet paper / paper towel item per family policy. My friend's dad, the owner, told me in person that no one is allowed to buy more than 1 per family. No ifs, ands, or buts. Cue the scene. Me, ED, entitled dad, EK, embarrassed kid. So, store owner. I'm waiting out the last half hour of when I said I'd help run the store on my own. When ED and EK walk in, decked out in fishing gear, ED grabs a packet of worms, some sodas, ice, and snacks. As he passes by the toiletries section, he grabs 4 packages of toilet paper. I'm sorry sir, but store policy is currently only 1 per family. I call that out across the store, but ED ignores me. He and EK select a few more things and walk up to the counter. EK is trying hard to not be seen, so I can tell he knows what's coming. Sir, Unfortunately I'm only able to sell you one toilet paper package right now. ED, already getting angry. Well, why not? M. Due to the pandemic and shortage, our store is only allowing one TP item per family. ED, well, there's no sign back there. M. Yes there is, sir. There's a sign every 6 feet around the store, and at the register, listing what items are being limited. ED, well, I know the owner, and he says it's okay for me to buy as many as I want from here. EK has now retreated to the door, clearly wanting to leave and not be here. M. You spoke to the owner? ED, getting irritated now. Yes, I did. Now are you going to ring me up or what? M. The owner specifically said that you could buy however much you wanted. ED, yes. Can you please hurry it up? I want to be on the lake soon. M. Sir, I know the manager didn't say anything to you, because I'd even known about it. ED, are you calling me a liar? I'm reporting you to the owner the next time I talk to him. M. Pulls out phone. How about now? ED. What? M. Calling owner and putting phone on speaker. Let's call him right now. If he says it's okay, I'll ring you up and apologize. Before ED can say anything, so picks up. So, hey M, what's up? M. Nothing much. I have ED here and he says you told him he could ignore store policy on TP. So, ED, can I have your name so I know who I told? Ed's face breaks out in hope, thinking he's bluffed his way through this, and gives his name. So, ED, I don't know who the hell you are or what the fuck you're talking about. I haven't told anyone that they could ignore store policy. By purchasing more than one, you are possibly depriving others that may desperately need the TP. And if you're shitting so much that you need more than one package, I would seriously suggest you consult a doctor, not just buy more TP. If you can't follow store policy like every other customer that's coming, then you can leave. So hangs up. ED has his mouth open in shock, while EK is looking like all major holidays and his birthday are happening today. ED shuts his mouth, stands in front of the register for a few seconds, shouts a final fuck you and storms out of the store, leaving all his items at the counter. TLDR. ED tries to bluff his way into bypassing store policy, so I call So to call him on it. So calls him out on being entitled. Edit. Slight punctuation change. And thank you for the award, kind sir. Thank you. Next. EK entitled kids. ED entitled dad. Once every 2 weeks we have dinner with the family. Not everyone can make it every time, but since most of us are not working, this part of the family could attend. Note, our elders don't speak our local language, and only a tad of English will be relevant later. The first time they came over and saw my Nintendo Switch, the dad insisted that I should let the kids, 5 and 6 I think, play. I thought whatever, fine. What can go wrong? I set up Mario Kart for them and returned to the dinner table. When they left, I was honestly shocked how dirty they left my stuff. They had been eating raisins in our couch, and the Switch was covered in chewed up sticky raisins. It even got under the buttons. It was disgusting. I spoke to my BF and he told me he'd side with me, but to avoid drama he asked me to make up an excuse as to why they weren't allowed to play anymore. He took the whole thing apart and replaced the shell because I couldn't get the stickiness off. Next dinner happens. They walk in. EK, and where is our toy? Me, it's not here, sorry. ED, and why is that? They came here to play on the Switch. Me, it's charging. Also I don't have the game anymore. Wasn't a lie. I deleted MK7 to make space for Animal Crossing. ED, what games are on it? Me, sorry, does that matter? ED, yes. You say there's no kids games. So what titles? Me, that's really none of your business. I said no. ED, kids, maybe you should ask Grandpa. EK, Grandpa, she has our game. Grandpa, ROP, they want to play on that console. Me, I know. I told them and Dad no. Grandpa was very confused about the situation. ED, okay. Then PS4. Titles? I'm assuming that's not yours to take away from my kids. Me, actually it is. It's not my BF's. It's mine. And frankly I'm not letting them touch anything of value since last time I had to change the housing because of how nasty they left it. ED, I rolls. EK, So now what? We can't play with our toy. Me, it's not your toy. And no. Cue crying. Parents acting like I'm a horrible human being. Next dinner I got home late from work, and they legit took my Switch off my desk. I walked in and grabbed it from their paws, looked straight at their dad and told him he knew well enough I said number. It's awful that I have to hide stuff in my house, but I'm grateful the rest of the family is not like that and say I'm right. I have so many stories about those kids. It's a shame their parents raised them to be so spoiled, and I sincerely hope they'll grow out of it and we can laugh about it one day. Thank you. Next. A few years ago, when I was around 15, I was kind of dressing up and asked my mum if I could borrow her watch. Not a really fancy one, but a blue one that matched my outfit nicely. I'm right-handed and wear my watch on my right. I know most people don't do it like this, but I feel uncomfortable wearing it on my left. I put it on. My mum says that the watch goes on the left wrist. I tell her I know, but I always wear it on my right. It's more comfy. She repeats the watch goes on the left, not right. I try to explain again, but she says she won't lend me the watch anymore because I can't wear it properly. She used to wear her watch on her right wrist. I know because when she was 19 she was in a car accident. She got all her skin burnt, and aside from many scars, you can still see the skin on her right wrist has the mark of wearing a watch there. She told me herself even she doesn't anymore because of accident-related injuries that make her not be able to rotate her right arm properly. TL. Doctor, my mum lends me a watch, which I wear on my right wrist. She forbids me from wearing it and takes it back because I don't wear it the right way, even though she used to wear it on her right wrist too.